Is Navidad cooked without Farina on the Cactus? No Inefa, so Oron slash Fischl, maybe? Not sure yet, honestly. I'll have to do some testing. 07 Twiox vid? Fine. Let's get back to it. Do we need to play Electro-Charged against the Cactus? Yes and no. Fuck the Twiox vid. Let's talk about the Cactus. So, here's how the Cactus fight works, okay? First thing the Cactus does, right? Okay. And then I guess we need... It is a cactus, after all. It also has a mustache. This is the Cactus, okay? So, first thing the Cactus does, alright? Boop! Boop! Okay? It creates copies of itself, and then it starts swapping with them. And it shuffles them around. Very cool. And it does just the shuffling 5 times. After which, well, it's 3 times, then it's 3 times. I don't know. I heard it was 5, maybe it's not 5, maybe it's 3, who cares? Once it's done shuffling, you want to attack the one with the face. The one with the face, right, is where he started. So if you followed him when he was shuffling, you'll know which one it is. But if you lost him, you can just look for the face and try to find it. After that, you start hitting the hat. Now, the hat inherits 40% of the HP of the Cactus. So the Cactus has 6.2 mil HP. So what do you mean 3.9 mil, DJ? Lil bro thinks this mode is balanced. Good one. No. So the Cactus has 6.2 mil HP. So 40% of that is going to be around 2.5 mil HP. Right? So this hat has 2.5 mil HP. That HP bar is not going to be the boss HP bar that is usually there, right? Actually, we can probably just do a line. No, that's the What the fuck? Why is... What? Okay. I don't know why it turned dark, but okay. Alright, this is a normal HP bar. Right? But that HP bar is for the actual Cactus. So when you're hitting the hat, you're not hitting this HP bar. What you're hitting is the Cactus's HP bar. It's going to be below. Kind of like where shields usually are. But it's not a shield. It is an HP bar. Now, when you kill the hat, when you completely deplete the HP bar of the hat, whatever electro and hydro damage you dealt, the actual Cactus is going to lose. So, since it's 40% of its HP, he's going to lose 40% of its HP. However, there's an additional mechanic on top of that, right? Much like the Lava Dragon and the Secret Source Automaton, it also has a bar that can fill up. And this bar fills up with Electro-Charge and Lunar Charge. Not sure if it's damage or triggers yet, but one of those. I think it's triggers, but I'm not entirely sure. It might be damage. Whatever. every time this bar gets fully filled up, right? Every time you fully fill up the bar, the Cactus loses 22.5%, or the hat loses 22.5% of its HP. So about a fifth of the HP disappears. However, that health lost to this mechanic is not considered as damage you dealt to the Cactus with Electro or Hydro damage, which means that once the hat phase is over, it is not HP that the actual Cactus will lose. Does that mean you don't want to trigger Lunar Charge and Electro-Charge? Not really, because when you down the hat, the Cactus becomes weakened, and its resistances go to -90 to everything. And so, between doing a rotation on the hat and doing a rotation on the down, you'd rather do a rotation on the down. But this also does mean that if you have the damage to brute force the hat, if you have the damage to, you know, deal 2.5 mil HP in the given time that you have for the hat, you don't need Electro-Charge. You will likely be able to do this with a Verissa team that's like Overload Verissa. With a Neuvillette team with Freeze, right? As long as you have enough damage to deal 40% of the Cactus's HP in the hat phase. I'm not sure how long you have for that. I'm not sure if it does a wipe if you don't break it quickly enough. It probably does with the way things are going, honestly. And also, if it takes you like a minute to get the hat, then he's down for like 15 seconds, then he's normal for like, I don't know how long, 30 seconds. Then he starts shuffling hats again, and you won't have time to break the hats again, which means that you effectively need to be able to kill the hat in a minute 30 instead of in 2 minutes, because the last 30 seconds, if 30 seconds isn't enough to break the full shield, even if he has enough stored damage inside the hat that he would die when the hat phase is over, it won't matter. Because the hat phase won't be over in time. And I'm honestly not entirely sure how long you're gonna have for these things, so it's really hard to be entirely confident in how well teams that don't have Electro-Charge will perform. Teams that do have Electro-Charge will probably be fine. Honestly, there isn't much to this boss if you do have Electro-Charge. Like, its stall mechanics are, like, pseudo-stall. Like, they're stall mechanics, but you can deal damage to him during the stall mechanics, and that damage effectively gets carried over when you down him. So, it doesn't really matter that he's stalling. The only stall mechanic that is a real stall mechanic is the hat shuffling at the start. By the way, Yai's targeting is random, so she sometimes hits the fake hats. Oh shit, don't remind me, man. Oh man. Oh no. Running away from the Cactus so you can try to position your E so that the only hat in range is the right one. Oh boy. Oh boy. That'll be fun. I'm pretty sure the hats aren't close enough for Beto to bounce. It'd be really nice if they were. Beto would actually be good against the Cactus if they were. Why is Cactus the worst boss if you got good Hydro/Electro carries? If it's brute forceable without Electro-Charge teams, it's not as bad as I initially thought. But it depends on how realistic brute forcing it without Electro-Charge is gonna be, like with an Electro or a Hydro carry. Will Verissa without Xianyun be viable? I mean, you can always play Verissa Farina even if you don't have Xianyun. It's just not quite as good. But Verissa's good enough that it doesn't matter. Also, if you end up getting Inefa, Xianyun is a lot less important for the Inefa variation of Verissa teams. Because Sucrose does so much for Inefa's damage. Actually, no, I'm an idiot. That's not how that works. You still need a healer. I'm Cornge. No, you still really want Xianyun. Because Xilonen doesn't help Inefa's damage. Yeah, okay, never mind. I take it back. I was wrong and stupid. Oh well. I think I would just use Raiden Taser. I mean, if you have Inefa, that's probably going to be good enough, you know? If you don't have Inefa, though, oh boy. You know, I'm actually kind of curious if Inefa could be an upgrade to Bennett and Rational. With the overload buffs, full EM channeling is actually pretty good now. Bennett doesn't buff Xingqiu's damage, and Raiden's damage is so bad that buffing it with Bennett doesn't really matter. So I think it's very possible that Inefa's an upgrade to Bennett and Rational. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh, Inefa is definitely a major upgrade to Raiden, but that's not what we're talking about right now.